Hello, so I got my new laptop camera today. So it does look like it's a better quality and I hope the sound is better. I was trying to talk kind of low because it's so quiet in the house and people I think are kind of sleeping still. Anyway, so hopefully the sound will be better as well. Anyway, because it has like a microphone in it. And that is the sign for microphone, right? Ba, 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 ba. So if you were deaf, so that's how you would do it. You would just so that's the sign for microphone. But the topic I chose was for spring break because many schools are on spring break now or next week. Some were last week, but it's usually, in March is spring break. And they, stagger it. Why? Because they don't want everyone on spring break at the same time. Anyway, but there's always precaution. There's always tragedies. I'm going to do awful happenings. Or you could say sad happenings or bad happenings for that type of context and concept is that you want it, to kind of convey that. And right now there's one girl that's missing from the U.S. and she went to the Dominican Republic for spring break and now she's missing. So some people do this for missing, but in the South, this is used for passed away, dead, and so some people use that for gone. They're just gone. They're just missing. But in Texas, it means death, and so even though it is gone, so you have to really be careful when you use that sign because they're going, oh no, they died. No, they're just missing, right? So you can do missing. Instead of gone. So anyway, I just want you to be careful and make sure that like if you're talking with someone, if they go, and not dead, and they're missing. Oh, okay, why don't you say that? All right. So there were some things that are just a few things that, of course, or you think, oh, that's common sense. Yes, common sense that you would do during spring break. And the first one, of course, so this is the first one that I would think of that a friend told me, is if you're going out to a foreign country, like for example, Mexico, many kids in the U.S. will go to Mexico, and some go to South America. Make sure you're with someone who knows the language if you don't. And I heard that from a friend of mine who is a native speaker of Spanish, and she travels everywhere. And she's not as scared because she can speak the language. But people who can't speak the language, I think it's more dangerous because you don't know what they're saying, and they're going, oh, well, they can't say anything, right? So not speaking the same language is very different. And it's a precaution. So make sure that you're with someone who knows that local language. Because if you go to Brazil, they don't speak Spanish. It is Portuguese. I don't know if I can spell that right. I probably misspelled it. So you want that. You want someone who speaks the same language of where you're going. Number two is this is what I thought natural, common sense, is to go like in a group. You could go in a small group or in a pair, but make sure you're not alone because it's easier to kidnap someone alone, and you don't want that. So, and then 3, they say like late at night, people that like college kids, for example, they'll go out late at night, they'll go out, bar hopping, and they're saying, don't really do that, even if you're like if you go together with your bestie or whatever, this is best friend, it's still dangerous. And then they said, don't walk on the beach. They said they didn't care where it was, if it was in Chicago or in the East Coast or southern coast. They said walking on the beach at night anywhere is very dangerous, because you're thinking, oh, my hotel's on the beach and I'm just going to go out for a walk because I'm all, wired up, I'm all excited, and so I'm just going to walk on the beach to relax and kind of calm down. They say don't do that, because it's dangerous. And this girl that's missing, she was out walking on the beach like at 4 in the morning, and there was some man that was walking with her, and his arm was around her, and now she's missing. And that was the last video they have of her, and it was probably from the beach. They have cameras there, but they're saying they don't care where you are. Do not go out late at night, like early in the morning, and walk on the beach anywhere, because it is dangerous. And there's so many people with this human trafficking, and so that's basically slavery, right? So for me, for human trafficking, it would be, instead of traffic, right, you could do it that way, but they're selling people. So human selling, human slavery, you could do it that way. But some people might do human trafficking. I haven't really seen a lot of deaf people talking about that. But that's the danger, is that human trafficking. And some people will be killed. You could do, this is just kill, you could do it with a K hand shape, killed, either one, whichever is easier for you. Sometimes new people, it's harder to get that K hand shape because you're not accustomed to it. It's just a V basically, and you kind of move this middle finger down a little bit, and then it's like it's holding it, right? But it's a K. But it's just harder if you're not accustomed to it. So those are the I think, was it 4 things? It's like go with someone that knows the language. That's the first one. And go in a group. It can be a group, or it can be with someone else. That's just one other person, right? But this is like a group. That would be better. That would be better for safety for everyone, to go in a group. And I know your parents would appreciate that. And don't go out, like bar hopping, all night long. Have someone with you, but sometimes just another person is not enough. It's a group would be better. And then don't go out alone and walking on the beach. So walking out alone, and then maybe let's do 5, walking on the beach alone at night. So that's really 5, because these 2 are connected, going out, all night, because you're going, oh, I just want to party, and I just want to have fun, and someone's going to be going out there to their hotel or to their room or whatever. But this one is walking on the beach, and they said that's really very dangerous, and you just wouldn't think about that, especially if you're young. You just don't think about it. So, but I think anyone that's going on vacation, if they're going to a foreign country and you don't speak the language really well, maybe you took a class or whatever, or you've been reading up on it or practicing, but it's not enough, because it's not that native language of that area where they have their special accents, just like in the United States. And so it would be very dangerous. So just be careful. And even if you're with a group or with your family or whatever, you just have to be careful all the time. So that's my short video, and I wanted to really just kind of experiment with my new webcam for my laptop. And so I'm hoping that the microphone is better too, but I'm not talking really loud, so let's check it out. Anyway, practice, and I will see you later. Bye.